In this video, we are not telling you to not eat animals. In fact, we are telling you what kinds of animals you should be eating. If you should be eating them, the kinds you should be. Did you know that if your meat is not sourced properly and carefully, that you could be harming your body?
To eat or not to eat? That is the question.
We noticed that 85.8% of you guys are not subscribed. So what are you doing? We give you guys free weight loss advice. And to the 14.2% that are subscribed, you guys are doing something right here. So thank you for all your support. We really appreciate it. But seriously, if you're not subscribed, go ahead and click the subscribe button down below.
And I think all of us are kind of confused about it. There's this one thing of convenience. There's this one thing of eating out. There's this one thing of eating prepared foods. And most people aren't even relating that the food that they eat is impacting their health, let alone their weight, let alone their mental well-being. And I'm here to tell you that after 30 years of research and helping thousands of people throughout the world, there is a direct correlation between what you eat and how you feel. And most of the diseases are preventable, like the cancer and heart disease and diabetes that are afflicting most of the US population. The majority of the US population now is absolutely preventable through dietary awareness. And so we are here not to tell you what to eat and what not to eat, but we are here to just educate you and to just provide a little bit of insight based on our research that is science-backed about some of the issues on how you can choose better in stepping up your meat intake if you're choosing to eat meat.
Number one is antibiotics. Did you guys know that 80% of the antibiotics Americans use are being used and fed to our animals that you guys are eating if you're not getting organic?
I think they're injected, actually.
If you're not getting organic, 100% grass-fed and grass-finished meat,
that's antibiotic-free.
It's probably shot up with antibiotics.
Well, they use antibiotics because they want to, of course, prevent the animals from getting sick. But they're using it as a prevention tool, as opposed to using it as like a if the animal gets sick, then they use antibiotics. But what I understand is that the industrial factory farmed animal industry is using 80% of the antibiotics that are even made in this country. If your meat doesn't say antibiotic free, it's most likely got antibiotics in it. So start looking at what you're buying and start asking questions where you buy your food. I think eating meat out is probably one of the most dangerous things because it's so expensive to buy meat that is antibiotic free that most restaurants and whatnot are not going to have it. So definitely start asking questions so that you become more aware of what you're putting in your body and the choices that you're making.
Number two is, did you guys know that if you're not getting clean meat that is not shot up with antibiotics or treated with RBST, that you guys are causing your bodies more inflammation?
Yeah, and those compounds lead directly to diabetes and cardiovascular disease.
But studies show that if you don't eat meat that's shot up with antibiotics and RBST, that you guys will actually reduce your inflammation and promote better heart health, which I think is fascinating because all we've been fed in the media for years is that red meat is bad for your heart and red meat is bad for your heart and bad for your body and all these things. But it looks like, no, when your meat is not organic, that is when you have issues.
Yeah, and not only organic, we also want to be thoughtful about how, like, the conditions, right? The pasture raised and then grass fed. Like, if the animals are eating grass, their fat is going to be way more beneficial, less inflammatory. So you want to do grass finished, grass fed. So just things to bring into your awareness.
Kosher if you can.
Oh yeah, that's a whole other topic. Very interesting. Those of you who know. Because the factory farmed animals are pumped full of hormones, because hormones will help the animals to get fat and therefore weigh more so that they can make more money. It's all about the bottom line. The hormones are related to certain, like estrogen sensitive cancers. So they've linked eating factory farmed animals to certain types of cancers, like the accelerated rate of cancer growth, which is a bummer. So if your meat doesn't say hormone free, antibiotic free, chances are they've used hormones to raise the meat that you're eating. It might be more expensive, so maybe eat less. Or you might not be able to find it, so maybe you need to search at a different store.
Eating hormone-free meat lowers your risk of getting cancer, which is really interesting.
This is something I learned that's kind of shocking. I knew that they were like burning the Amazon down to graze meat for like McDonald's or whatever. But I didn't know that so much of the carbon footprint, because they talk about carbon when they talk about environmental disasters and problems with the environment. that factory farmed animals make up over 14% of all of the CO2 in the environment. And I think that movie Cowspiracy, released information and data about this topic, but that's kind of crazy to think about. And these are factory farms. This is not like the nice grass-fed, pasture-raised regenerative farms. These are factory farmed animals.
And to be honest, a lot of people talk about how expensive it is to eat clean. And I love that. I just want to say one thing. Like, if you are somebody who eats meat and you're like, I love meat, I'm not going to stop eating meat. Because to be honest, being a healthy vegan, I think is also really expensive.
I would say there's a way to do it that's not, but it does take effort. Yeah.
It does take effort. And so if you're someone who just doesn't want to be vegan, you don't have the time or money to supplement all the things you need, blah, blah, blah. I think Mom's like an excellent vegan because she really does her supplement routine well, and she gets her stuff in really well.
I know what's what.
But not everyone has access to that knowledge or knows all the things that you do.
But you could. We have a group for $47 a month.
Well, even that group doesn't teach you everything that you know.
I'm an open book. Just ask away.
Okay. Well, all I'm saying is that if you're somebody who's like, oh, I don't really know if I can do all these things and I'm scared. I loved that Paul Sanadino. I do like some of their work. They went to a local Walmart, and they went there and they just kind of showed the aisles of meat and cheese and dairy. And they look, you can go to Walmart and get a grass-fed beef. You can go
Costco, Sam's Club.
You can go to these places, and you just have to look. Now, hopefully now that you've watched this video, you can have a better eye and just look around. Try to buy the 100% grass-fed food if you can. Try to buy the raw cheese or the Parmesan, because all Parmesan, if you guys didn't know this, all Parmesan is grass-fed. So just start eating more of that instead of the other cheeses. You will be doing yourself a favor by looking out for the 100% grass-fed label.
Well, not only you're not doing yourself a favor. Yes, you are, but it's more than that. I believe that these farming practices are intact because consumers are purchasing it. And I believe that not only do we need policy change from the top down, but we need a change in how consumers like us, moms especially, who are buying a lot of the groceries at the grocery store for their families, we need to become more aware. And the more we demand it, the more they'll provide it, and they're going to shift their practices. And we've already seen that with the genetically modified foods movement. And it's time for this movement to take a step forward and for us to empower you to make better choices. And the prices will go down the more people that ask for it. Because, when you think about the environmental impact, we think that cars are the things that are harming the environment. Come to find out, factory farmed animals are more harmful to the environment than all the cars combined. So that's just information that you can take with you. And one of the problems with the antibiotics that they're shooting it up with is it's causing this antibiotic resistance. So if you get a really bad infection and you go to the doctor, the antibiotic might not work for you, which is a problem. And when you go to the beach these days, you see men with big breasts. That's from the hormones in the animal products. So do yourself a favor. Do your land a favor. Do your neighbor a favor. It's much bigger than just us. Yeah. Making these kinds of decisions. We don't want a chronic disease epidemic from factory farmed animals. We don't want to be antibiotic resistant if we need to take the medication to cure a deathly pandemic or whatever we need it for. So it's really just about getting back to respecting our bodies and making decisions that are in alignment with nature's law. Because the more we interrupt it, the more problems we're going to have. So anyway, this is a very serious topic, but we want to be sure that if you're deciding to eat a high protein diet, and that protein diet includes animal products, that you're just choosing smartly. So we'd love to hear your comments down below. Very interesting conversation. We might get some very interesting comments, but I'm open to a debate. I'm open to a discussion. I'm open to being wrong. But everything we've been saying in this video has also been backed by science. We're not making it up. It's backed by research. So anyway.
If you're interested in more backed by research weight loss tips or weight loss groups or courses or information, or you just want to get healthy and you want to get the fat off your body, get lean, get healthy for your family, for your just life and longevity. Yeah. We have a women's accountability group, and it's only $47 a month. But at January 1st, it's going to change. On January 1st, it's going to change. So make sure that you get in now before the prices go up, because if you get in now, they won't go up for you. All right. So I hope to see you all the time. Don't forget to like, share, comment, and subscribe, and we'll see you all the time.
We help women to beat obesity with our Step It Up system in just 90 days. Click the link in the description to learn how to lose weight without drugs like Ozempic.